Did it rain last night? Well, according to my thermometer on my tent, it's about 45 degrees out here. Doesn't really feel like it. I think I'm just going to pack up and head out. And I used to eat breakfast out here and make tea and stuff, but lately I just haven't really wanted to do that. I just kind of want to get out of here. Lots of moisture in here. Damn. See a lot of that? A lot of this moisture in here is actually probably condensation from my breath. It's one of the reasons why tents are supposed to be well ventilated, and it's probably the only flaw with this Marmot tungsten tent is not very well ventilated. This is all mesh, obviously, but when that goes on it, there are no holes for air to get out or in. So you end up, condensation ends up building up on that, and then it drips down on you. Like if I had to camp in this for like, I don't know, 3 days, my bag would probably get wet. Like everything inside the tent would probably end up getting wet from all that condensation, which is an odd phenomenon. But something to think about when you're buying a tent, if you're serious about it. Granted, I only ever do these overnights, but I have dreams and ambitions of going out for days. I think for the most part my setup would work for a multi-day trip. I just need some better, probably some better cleanup ability. It's like I forgot a rag. Like normally I bring a rag so I can wet it and wipe down like my cutting board and stuff. I need some way to streamline that. I gotta say this little drop cloth, this footprint for the tent, is a very important piece of this kit. It doesn't seem like it, but it is, because I can set it down and I can drop my bag on it, my cups on it, my cookware on it, and it's never going to get contaminated with all the dirt and grit and sand and shit that's on the ground. Like if you don't have a drop cloth, I would recommend buying one just so that you can expand your I don't know, your clean zone. You know what I mean? Because when you don't have one of these and you get into your tent and you track dirt and stuff in, this really helps prevent it. And then when you're packing up like this, I need a place for all this stuff to go while I'm packing up the tent. You know, because the tent goes in the bag first. So all of this stuff has to be sitting somewhere. And this really helps out. I don't think that's what it was intended for. I think it's supposed to be like an extra layer of protection underneath your tent, but damn, dude. This is what I use it for. So now that stuff can start going in. But I'm going to start this bike up in the meantime and try to let it warm up. There we go. 18,846 miles, almost exclusively of this, and she's never let me down. I've complained about this bike and I've expressed that I'm nervous about it, but you know what? It's all in my head. The only time it was a real issue was when I camped up in the Sierra Antka forest the first time and had altitude issues, and I almost killed the battery because the fuel mixture was wrong and the valves were too tight because that valves needed adjustment. That's the only time it really ever gave me any problems. I think the next time I change the oil in this thing, I am going to switch to a lighter weight oil, because it seems like I do a lot of these cold morning starts and it doesn't really make any sense to have a heavier oil. The thing's going to start easier if I'm using a lighter weight. So I don't know. Got this handy dandy oil temp dipstick that a buddy on Instagram sent me. Thanks, John. I can actually tell now that this is up past 50 degrees, so I can actually tell that my bike is warming up. Well, I'm going to give you coordinates for this spot in the description if any of you local guys want to come out here, or if anyone's wondering where this is. Everything out here is BLM land, and on BLM land you're allowed to do some dispersed camping, although I'm sure a ranger would probably have an issue with me taking this bike off-road, off the main road, that is, if you could even call it that. It's more of a main trail. Alright, I think we're ready to go. Everything's packed up, campsite's broken down, my bike's all wet from all this morning dew. Oh hey, and in case you forgot, I got the mixture screw right there. That's the one that you'll be getting if you purchase one. Just turn that bad boy and change your fuel mixture. Works out pretty good. So far I've had no complaints. Ugh. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to change to a lighter weight oil, because I installed a temperature gauge, a digital temperature gauge on my truck, and I've noticed that regardless of what the outside temperature is, the cooling system controls temperature perfectly. Even if it's like 115 degrees outside, driving around town, the coolant temperature in that truck doesn't really ever exceed 180. So I was thinking, like, what's the purpose? Like, what am I doing putting a heavier oil in it? That one I was using 10W30 instead of 5W30, which is not a huge difference, but I don't know, originally I thought maybe it would help it a little bit in hotter temperatures, but I don't actually think that matters since the temperature is managed so well. Granted, this bike is air cooled, but still I think the same idea applies. Like, unless this thing is seeing engine damaging temperatures, I don't really know why I'm putting 20 weight oil in it. If anything, I'm just making it harder to start on days like this. And honestly, that might be part of my issue in the mornings I have when I try to start this thing and it takes forever, but I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I'll see what other oil weights Honda recommends. I don't know them off the top of my head. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I don't think I have much else to say. Remember to go check out those shirts on Thursday. Pick one up if you're into it, and if you don't have your size, let me know. Let me know what size you are, and I'll include those sizes in the next round of shirts. Thanks, everybody. It's gotta be, ooh, I ain't gone forever.